Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It is a beautiful Monday morning. Today is May 6th, 2024. We get together most weekday mornings to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories. Ever since we applied for and received the grant last year in 2023, our commitment is to build financial literacy. Now, from your perspective, if you are a current or prospective distribution partner, you can actually get paid to help others build their financial literacy. Because really, we have a problem, and it's not a localized problem. I think it's a national issue that there's an inadequate amount of financial literacy. So we live in this environment of money and credit. And a lot of people want to own or do own a small business, but in general, there's a failure of the systems in place to educate people properly. And that's where you and I come in. We educate them about legal, ethical, effective strategies with specifically an emphasis on what does it take to get funding? Because some people will make a mistake. The mistake that they'll make is they just want funding. They just demand funding. But the truth is that you and I know is you have to qualify for funding. There's not banks or lenders that's just going to give away money. Now, there's different ways. There's actually 4 different buckets to get funding to start or grow a business, isn't there? So let's go to that for a moment. So our topic is getting certified, and we'll get there in a moment. But one of the elements that you and I should be teaching is that there are 4 sources of capital. Who can tell me one of the 4 sources or categories of capital? And we use the question and answer, the Q&A. It's like a chat box in Zoom. Who in the audience today, the live audience obviously, could tell me one of the 4 ways that an entrepreneur could get money to start or grow? So we're talking about categories here. So debt, that's right. Karanda said debt. So debt. So small business owners could go out and borrow money. Now there's many different types of debt instruments, right? There's revolving and installment, there's SBA, non-SBA, there's all kinds of different examples, but debt is one category. In general, the concept behind debt is it's a loan or an extension of credit that needs to be repaid. How it's repaid, when it's repaid, the cost of repayment varies, but debt is one of the categories. All right, is that the only way to get money to start or grow a business? Debt? No, it's not. Another is equity. Equity is essentially an injection of money without the expectation of being repaid as a debt. Does it mean it's free money? No, we'll get to that. Free money is coming up. That's number 4, in fact. But equity is an injection of capital. It could be out of your pocket. So you start a business and you put some of your money into it. It could be investors that's giving you quote unquote money. So now you have money to grow the business. Are they doing it out of the goodness of their heart? No, they're usually looking to share in future profits. They're an investor. The third is earned income. So this is where our business is making money and we're reinvesting that money back in. Herman Woods just said that. Thank you, Mr. Woods. And then the 4th would be gifts and grants. And that's what we talk about, free money. So why do I digress? These are concepts that you know like the back of your hand. These are resources that you and I can help anyone with, any one of these 4 through the startup funding program. But the average person doesn't know what you and I know. They're just stuck. They just want funding. They need funding. Sometimes they demand funding. Well, one of the things we have to figure out is where should the funding come from? It could come from any combination of these. And just because you don't qualify for one doesn't mean you don't qualify for any. So our point today is we would like you to get certified. How much does it cost? 0. Is it painful? I don't think so. So the certification, where do you get the modules, the training? So you got to go to chapmanloanprogram.org, which is shared here. We scroll down, and this is not a change. I'm just trying to reiterate this because, frankly, not many of you have gotten certified. Not because I think it's too hard, but I think it's just not been a focus. And I think that's a mistake. You all are smart. I know that. And you probably will pass your test because you're going to be graded. If you want to get certified, you're to go through and complete these 5 modules, which you can do on demand. And then there's an assessment. It's graded. You have to have at least an 80% to pass. And now there's bonus questions. And for instance, one of the bonus questions, oh, by the way, is based off of this right here. That's why I gave you. This is the answer to one of the bonus questions, by the way. But there are bonus questions, but you have to have at least an 80% to pass. So why should you take the time to get certified? Well, there could be a couple different answers. Number one, if you have signed up to be a branch office, let's be really clear, that's a contractual commitment. The contract didn't say you have to get certified. I'm not pulling the contract card out on you. But if you've decided to be the CEO of a branch office, why in the world would you not want to take advantage of free resources to do better at your job, to be better, right? If you're an accountant or an insurance agent or an attorney or even a teacher, you have to get continuing education credits to maintain that licensure, to maintain that professional status. Well, here, let's at least spend, 2 to 3 hours? Now, some of you will come back and say, oh, I've watched all the modules. Well, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. Here's the 5 modules that you're going to be trained on or graded on. And then let's see if you can pass the written assessment. I'm sure you will. It's not meant to be challenging. You can take it more than once. For instance, Herman Woods is on here. And so Mr. Woods has been with us for a while, and we talked over the weekend, and he's preparing to do his written assessment now. Mr. Woods, if you could type into the Q&A, how much time have you spent preparing to take the assessment? Because obviously it'll only take 2 to 3 hours to go through these 5 modules, each are around 30 minutes. But many of you are very studious, so you're preparing. I'm just curious, for those of you that have completed the modules and you've either completed the assessment or you're preparing for it, how much time have you put into it? I'm just curious. So we got a question from Timothy. Do you have to be a distribution partner to go through the certification? No, this is available to anyone. You'll notice there's no passwords, there's no fees. You don't even have to register. Anyone can go through the 5 modules. Then you let us know, as it states here, and then we'll go through the assessment. Questions, comments, concerns. I mean, the topic's remarkably simple, but I just felt compelled. I needed to prompt you to urge you to do this, because we have 529 of you on training this morning, and only a small fraction of you have become certified. Why do we want you to become certified so badly? We believe that if you go through the training and demonstrate that you know what you're talking about, you'll be more successful and you'll be more accurate. You'll be more valuable when you're out teaching financial literacy. So who has questions, comments, concerns on the certification? Marilyn, you have a question, go ahead and type it into the Q&A and we'll respond to that. Anyone have questions or concerns? Chris, welcome to the Zoom this morning. Chris and I talked briefly this morning. Questions that you have, Chris, as a newbie, if you will. Mr. Woods came back and said that he said the preparation time takes longer than 3 hours because of taking notes, and that's true. So different people have different approaches. If you approach learning the way I do, I would watch each module the first time, and then I'd come back the second time and I'd have my notepad and I'd be pausing it and taking notes, because it's open notes. The written assessment is an open note exam, so that's not a problem. And the reason we want you to do this is so you're more effective, more successful in communicating with prospects. Franklin asked how to register and access the modules. Well, Franklin, it's my fault. You have access to the modules. That's literally what I'm showing you right here. ChapmanLoanProgram.org. Here are the modules. And then you contact us when you're ready for the assessment. How do you contact us? Super simple. Kendrick asks, what's the site for certification? Kendrick, I'm sorry, I've dropped the ball. ChapmanLoanProgram.org. Here are the 5 modules. See? Super simple. Super simple. Okay, anyone else have questions on the what, the when, the where, the how? What we would like each of you to do is to become certified as a small business funding consultant. How do you do that? Go through the modules, take the exam. It's not that difficult. Can you go through the modules and not take the exam? Sure. You don't have to tell us you're going through the modules. Just go through them. Can you go through them in any order that you want? Sure. Go through them in any order that you want. Could you just audit? Could you say, well, module 4 looks kind of interesting. It talks about how I would make money teaching people. Great. Then skip everything else and go right to module 4. That's fine. There's no strings attached. No strings attached. All right. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? Painfully simple. What I'm asking each of you to do is please consider going to ChapmanLoanProgram.org, complete the 5 modules, let us know, which is what the instruction says. You can let us know easily, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start the assessment process. Crazy simple. Chris asked how fast you think I could finish it. Well, Chris, you're looking at about 30 minutes per module. So let's assume you have a bathroom break along the way. You're at about 3 hours there. Then you could let us know if you want to fast track it. So every one of you could be certified by noon today, if that's what you wanted to do. But what I'm not trying to do is rush you. Jeff asked about making money, and that's great because you all do make, if you're a distribution partner, you make money. It's not get rich quick. It's not the type of money like Chris used to own a smoke shop. Man, he banked it. He had fancy cars, fancy watches. I don't know Chris real well, but it sounds like he really lived the good life. So this role is a great side income, but it's not meant to be, I guess, your get rich quick. So the bottom line is you'll learn the training here, but the goal is for each of you to generate at least $100,000 a month by teaching the curriculum, and that's here. You actually can read it right here. So it would be a side income stream. It's not meant to replace whatever you're doing now, which I'm sure is much more profitable, but it's a good side income where you're helping people. But Jeff, you're asking a good question. Go through the certification and you'll understand it in detail. Gary says he's watched all the modules. How do I access the certification exam? Well, you'll let us know, right? Because we don't know when you finished it. So it says contact us to complete a written assessment. How do you contact us? You would email support@Chapman Loan Program and say, hey, I'm ready for the examination process. All right. Who else has questions? I want to keep it simple today. There's lots of other things we could talk about. We could talk about, hey, it's Monday. Let's have a big week. Hey, you're a branch office. We need to be out there active and successful. If you didn't have a good week last week, we got some clients we can transfer over to you, what we call client placement program. But let's keep it simple today. Singular focus. Let's get certified. 5 modules. Let us know. And then we'll go through the examination process. That'll make you smarter. That'll make you a better resource for clients. All right, Herman has a great question. If you have a sales team, how does that work? Because Herman's in the process of building a big sales team. That's fine. All of your sales team can go through the certification for free. It's free for anyone, let alone your sales team. So if you have a prospective sales team member, I guess is the right way to describe it, great. Maybe screen them and have them go through the certification first before you even hire them or contract with them. Because if they're not diligent enough to do this, do you think they're really going to go out and shake the trees? Or if you don't want to do that, get them under contract with you, however you're to work with them, and then have this as a training requirement. You don't have to do it. We'll do it for you. But we need people to be educated. And just as we discussed a moment ago, take this topic right here. Do you think that the average, well, let's talk about some key concepts and we'll wrap it up. So key concepts. Now, where can money come from? We've already covered that, so I won't be redundant, but that's a key concept. A lot of entrepreneurs don't know it. What's another key concept? The 3 C's. In other words, what does it take to qualify for debt? Now, there's different criteria for 2, 3, and 4, but the 3 C's for number 1. Who can tell me one of the 3 C's? We'll do a quick quiz. And just for your information, this is one of the other bonus questions. So what's one of the 3 C's for debt-based financing? Who can tell me one of the 3 C's? Marilyn says, she said generation flow. I'm not sure what that means, but I think what she's trying to say is capacity, which is similar to cash flow. Good. Katori says credit. That's right. And Herman says collateral. That's right. So again, you all know this like the back of your hands, right? You could go to any high school, junior high, middle school, elementary school. You could teach financial literacy, but a lot of people do not know what you know. So, these are key concepts. Also, what does it take to have a fundable business? A lot of people don't know. They don't know. But guess what? We teach them and we have the resources to help them. Where would that come from? Module 1. Module 1 teaches this. So I'm not going to give you the answer to this. I'm going to say see module 1. Because I want you at some point to go through the training. I could summarize it. I could give you the cliff notes all day long. But this is the information. These are right here are 3 valuable concepts that like the back of your hand that the average person doesn't know. And that's why they're not getting access to funding. And that's why our model is so successful. It works 100% of the time. That's what's amazing. If you take the business funding package and you ask, what is the probability of success? As long as the client participates, granted that there's a consideration, 100% of the time we can deliver on 100% of what we promise. But it starts with having educated clients. Well, no, actually it starts with having you educated so we can educate the clients because you're an important part. Now you might say, oh, I'm too busy, I'm too important, I'm too good, I shouldn't be out talking to people or teaching people. Fine, you can delegate that. We've talked about that before, right? Because we've talked about there are 3 things that branches do. Who can tell me what the 3 things are that branch offices do? What are the 3 things that branch offices do? Who can tell me? It's like the core of your job description. And I know you don't have a job, that you're a professional and you own your own branch, but in general, what are the 3 things that you as a distribution partner, as a branch does? Okay, Michelle says number 1, generate leads. That is absolutely correct. And Nakia also said that. Karanda came in and she named all 3. Then she said, you educate leads. If I could spell educate. And then Karanda also nailed it with, then we enroll. I mean, this is what we do together. We need to have someone to educate, and then we educate them. Primarily, we educate them using the 4-phase graphic. Here's a version of that we teach that's available to you to use on demand. Module 1 teaches you how to teach that. So we have to have a lead, which we cover how to generate leads in modules 2 and 3. So let's go ahead and put that. Modules 2 and 3. How to educate leads, we teach you in module 1. Then how to enroll leads, we teach you in module 5. And then of course 4 is how you make money. All right, well, if you would, please consider getting plugged in, getting trained. Jeff, you're asking some great questions, and my answer, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, is go through the training, Jeff. That's why I'm asking you, each of you, to become knowledgeable, not only about business finance, but also about our model. How does our grant work? What do the clients get? What they can expect? What the guarantees are? That's what I'm asking. Now, if you can only make it through module 1, Jeff, at least you'll get started. And from a client perspective, prospective participants or clients, they normally will just come here. They're welcome to go through the certification, but our prospective clients need to see, and I can pull this up and I'll pause it.
Going from survival mode.
Of course, we have a
whole life.
commercial here. Give it a second. Skip. It'll populate. There we go. So that on-demand training here teaches the 4 phase. That's what most of you are using to educate your prospects. So this is where prospects learn about what we do. And then this is where our prospective and current distribution partners learn. All right, well, I'm going to turn the time back to you. Let's please consider getting certified. Come back tomorrow. Let us know your thoughts. If you feel like that you're ready to take the exam and move forward now, what do you need to do? Let us know. Let us know, and we'll be more than happy to start that process. No strings attached, no cost, no BS, so don't worry about that. All right, thanks everyone. See you back tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Bye.